Is the Phantom 3 standard still a quad worthy of your consideration in 2019? Stick around, we'll find out. So the Phantom 3 Advanced, I think it's about 3 miles range. It's got downward positioning sensors. This kind of helps you out if you're flying, say, inside where you don't have GPS lock. It will help stabilize the quad. Phantom 4 Pro gets about 4 miles, just over 4 miles range. It's got anti-collision sensors on the front, on the rear, the sides are infrared, so if you're using it in tripod mode, these will work, but they won't work in any other mode. And these two quads have the light bridge technology. The Phantom 4 Pro actually has a dual technology where I think it switches between 5.8 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. The Mavic Pro has the OcuSync technology. This gets around just over 4 miles. I think it's 4.3 is the official stats on that. Of course, that's in the best of conditions with, you know, completely uninstructed view. And but these are just the measurements that these quads, you know, are capable of doing in the best of conditions. Then, by the way, this the Mavic Pro has the anti-collision sensors too on the front, and there's some sensors on the bottom too to help sense the place where you take off from and to help you with landing procedures and just to gauge the distance from the ground if you're flying, you know, without GPS. Then we have the Phantom 3 Standard. Well, what does this have on it? Well, you don't have any sensors whatsoever on it. It's got a 2K camera. I forgot to mention those other ones. Well, the Phantom 3 Advanced has a 2K camera, but the Phantom 4 Pro, of course, is 4K with 60 frames per second. And the Mavic Pro is also 4K with, I think, up to 30 frames per second. Well, what does the lowly Phantom 3 Standard have? Well, it's got 2K. I think it's 60 frames per second, I believe. Not quite sure on that. No sensors, no light bridge technology or OcuSync technology. So we're looking at Wi-Fi only. Now, what is the range of the Standard? Well, it's about half a mile or so at most, under the, I guess, the best of conditions, and that's probably not realistic. It's probably less than that, since it's only Wi-Fi. Anything that gets in the way or can interfere with the signal is going to affect, you know, your signal transmission. But my question is this still a viable quad in today's world with the newer technologies and newer quads? What can we film with this? Well, let's go out for a run and we'll try to find a place to film, and we'll see what we can do with it. All right, let's try to find a place here. I've got a couple places in mind. Don't know how accessible they're going to be. Nice day today. It's supposed to be up in the mid-50s. It's middle of March here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Nice sunny day. Guys, see where we're going. Let's see if we can get in there. This is the building I had in mind. You see a large smokestack here. I believe this was the original incinerator building for the abandoned Embreeville State Hospital, which is just up over the hill. We have an electrical station, substation. You can see back there, that was also, I believe, for the facility. So we'll see if we can't get the Phantom 3 standard up there, see what we can film. All right, let's get the app fired up here. What's strange is I do hear voices coming from inside that building, so I don't know who's there, whether they're other explorers or maybe the owners, but we'll find out what happens here. Turn on the remote here. Get it connected to the phone with the Wi-Fi. One thing that concerned me, and this, keep in mind, this Phantom 3 was the most reasonably priced of all the Phantom 3 models, and it was probably more geared to the beginner. And that's a little bit concerning because it has no collision sensors. But it did go into attitude mode when I was flying over top the facility, and I actually had to fly it, until it reconnected and went back into GPS mode, which was only a short period of time. But if you were a novice and you're not used to something like that happening, and suddenly your aircraft just wants to keep flying, where you direct it, a novice could run into trouble. They could very easily crash the quad. And now keep in mind, this quad was updated. It's got all the latest firmware. It works fine. And other than that one issue, it stayed connected to GPS the entire rest of the flight. and it wasn't too bad to handle. Now I'm used to flying the Mavic now on the Phantom 4, which is more stable. The GPS is a little bit better. Keep in mind it's got the GLONASS and our US GPS on those models, which the Phantom 3 Standard does not. It does not have GLONASS. So you have, you know, the GPS isn't quite as stable. It'll hold position within maybe 5 feet and hover around. In a windy situation, it's going to be more of an issue. It's really not much of a breeze today, so it was nice. But other than that, it flew nicely, and I haven't flown this in a long time. This is why it's almost new to me, because it's been a number of years since I've really gone out and done a video with this quad. It flew nicely. Like, I really can't complain. I do believe it's a viable quad for today, given its certain limitations. Of course, you know, your distance too is a limitation. I never flew it that far. I always, you know, was within sight of it and was very close to it. So if you can do that, then you should be fine. And you let me know what you think. The video's up now, and I edited, of course, and put some music to it. But you let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you think it's still something that's viable, that maybe a person who wants to buy a quad for the first time, and you can get this pretty reasonable. Just make sure you buy one that's in good condition. They're all going to be used. There's nothing I know of that is being sold new, because DJI stopped making these a while ago. Now, whether they still offer refurbished models, I know they were for a while. You can check their website, but I'm not sure that that's the case anymore. So I would say just be careful, you know, if you do buy this quad, you know, when you're flying it, and you get a lot of experience first before you do anything that's really complicated. Well, thanks a lot for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you do like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And there'll be more videos, whether there'll be exploration videos. I have done a lot of ground exploration. I plan on doing more of that, in a combination of ground exploration and drone videos, and drone rebuilding, refurbishing, and I'll even maybe do some product reviews in the future. I haven't really done any of those yet. All right, now thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next video.